What motivates you every day?
Definitely my parents.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Carslug's podcast. Over here, what we do here at Carslug is we always want to support and promote businesses. We want to do that movement for business improvement. And today we have a very, very special guest, Jesse Nicasio, entrepreneur, car enthusiast. We're going to break it down today on industries and how he makes revenue and business decisions on his lifestyle. Hi, Jesse. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, Bobby.
Thank you for taking the time and telling our audience out there like what you do. So let's first start with the cars. So how did you become a car enthusiast and into cars? What's the history behind that?
Yeah. So I don't know if yours is pretty similar, but I think a lot of car enthusiasts, from the beginning, when we were kids, we would play with matchboxes, play with Lego cars. Right. Then eventually, back then I had a Sega gaming console and a PlayStation 1, and I would play Gran Turismo, the very first one, and play Need for Speed and all that. And so I was really into cars since, really, really young. And I just grew a passion and became really nerdy about cars. And at one point I knew every single car model out there because of those games that I played. And then it just stuck with me. It's something that I'll be passionate about forever.
Nice. And then what was your first car, high school?
My first car was actually a Honda Prelude.
Nice.
It's not something that you see every day. So I've always loved cars where you don't see it regularly in traffic. So when I saw the Prelude, and it was only a good number of cars out there, I was like, yeah, I'll take this one. Right. And that was my first ever car.
Nice. And then what did you fix it up? Did you get rimmed? Were you, slowly getting to that type of modding?
Yeah. I remember that first one had 180,000 miles, and it had those vinyls back then. Because I remember those were big. Yep. Yeah. I think I even had a neon glow, something like that. But it was because of Fast and Furious, right? That got me into modifying the car. I bought that car for $3,000, really. And that was my baby back then. But unfortunately, the transmission gave up on that first car. But yeah, that was the first thing I really modded.
Right. And then what did that transition to? Prelude to?
Yeah. So Prelude to that broke down, and then another Prelude. So I got another Prelude, a much newer one. Right. Because I really loved that platform. And then after that, I saved up as much as I could to get a down payment for a WRX. It was a hatchback WRX. And I overpaid for that car because I didn't have any credit at that time. Right. But that was my first brand new car. Really modded the heck out of that car. Yeah. So got it to stage 2, got it to all the aerodynamics that I could add onto that car. And I spent all my money on that car. Yeah.
And obviously, guys and gals, as you know, when you fix up your car, you want to show it, right? Of
course. Yeah.
So tell me about that. So you had your WRX, and then did you join a Subaru group, or?
Yeah. Okay. I joined a Subaru group. Okay. A few of them. That's where actually I met Mike. Mike from Car Passion Detailing.
Mike from Car Passion.
Shout out Mike, Car Passion. Always take my cars to him. Right. That's where I met him, and we got into a few track maybe 2-3 times a year. We'd go to the track, and so one of those days, I was with Mike actually, and I had that Subaru for maybe 4 years, and met so many amazing people that I still are friends with today.
Tell me about your current car now, which is a Lotus, I believe, correct?
Yes.
All right.
So it's a Lotus Evora S. It's my current car, and that was one of my dream cars. Growing up, I've always been a fan of the Lotus brand, which is it's an acquired taste. Not everyone is into Lotus.
Sure.
And so growing up again with my PlayStation and Sega, I would always play these Need for Speed, and I would always choose the Lotus. It's one of the slowest cars out there, but it's fun, handling wise. Right. So growing up, I always in the back of my head, I'm gonna buy a Lotus one day. So I bought a Lotus Elise first. Elise, which is the smaller version of the Evora. Right. It's more nimble. It's got no power steering, and took it to the track, and it was amazing. I had it for a few years, and then I got the Evora eventually. I also got the Alpha 4C, which is similar to the Elise. So if you notice, the cars that I like are lightweight, great handling, not necessarily powerful, but fun cars to
Nimble,
drive. Yeah, nimble cars. So Prelude,
Right.
the WRX. I also had a Fiesta ST, which
okay.
you don't see those every day.
Right.
So all of the cars that I own, you don't see them every day on the road. So that's what I like. So they have to be fun.
Right.
They have to be a little bit unique, and you don't see every day on the road.
Yep.
And they have to have amazing handling, and they have to be lightweight.
Yeah.
So the Evora has been really amazing.
And I love that color. It's that what color is that yellow? What do you call that color?
It's Carcelog yellow.
Carcelog yellow. They have speed yellow for Porsche, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's called solar yellow or something.
Solar
I'm
yellow.
not really sure, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love.
I always see Jesse zipping around town in Cerritos and Artesia. And I try to wave him up
because it's yellow, right?
Yeah,
you see it right away. There's no way that you
exactly.
don't see that color. So.
Exactly. Well, awesome. And then future endeavors. Any other car you're chasing right now?
Yeah. So my ultimate dream car, at least for now, is the 458 Italia, which is the car that you have. And a lot of us in the Carcelog community have the 458.
Yes,
so
yes.
I always when I see your guys' car,
Right.
It motivates me.
Right.
Hey,
That's
when are
good.
they gonna have that?
Right.
So, thanks for letting me get into that car.
Oh, absolutely.
the
Anytime.
other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my next one definitely. Either that or a Huracan. But the 458 has been the one car that I really want to own.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and I'm sure you know why.
Yes. Yeah. The last V8 NA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that car. But yeah, at Carcelog, that's what we do. We will always want people to step up their game. And if we could help people some people are coming from the Civic, the Prelude, to the Lotus, to a Porsche, to a 458, to a supercar, a Huracan. That's the journey. That's what those as car enthusiasts, we like all cars. But we'll never forget where we come from. But we love to, again, connect with people to show them hey man, if I could do it, you could do it, man. You know what I mean? I thought I'm never gonna own any supercars, and here I am now, right? So I'm a living proof, and that's what we want to show. We want to share our success stories and help the general public. We want to help people. Yeah. And especially want to help people with one of our favorite hobbies, which is the car.
Yeah, which is Carcelog, right?
Exactly.
I think it's really nice what Carcelog does,
right?
Like promoting businesses and just giving back to the community,
right?
And at the same time, we all have the same passion,
exactly.
And you guys really inspire me.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, all of you guys who have gone to your guys' level,
right?
It really, I'm sure a lot of people get inspired as well when they see your guys' success,
right?
And the cars that you guys have, and
right.
It's not, you have to be a different mindset to get to where you guys are at.
Exactly.
And so that's what I'm trying to do.
Now, so you got your car, meeting people. Now you're talking about business. So tell me about how did you get into your Airbnb and your short-term rental? What was the history behind that?
Yeah, so I got into real estate in 2012, 2013 with my brother. So my brother's been my partner in business the entire time. And we started off doing flips, doing long-term rentals. Back then, BNBs weren't really much of a thing yet.
Right.
And then we didn't really get into short-term rentals or Airbnbs until beginning of 2023. So it's pretty recent. Right. Only been 2.5 years. Right. But we got into real estate 2012, 2013. And when we got into Airbnbs, it kind of became addicting to me. Kind of became something that I want to keep on leveling up.
Right.
So when I got into Airbnbs, and funny enough, it was actually a friend of mine who inspired me to start because, so I had a friend who moved to Washington from California because he wanted to, he was getting hired by this company that's really big and salary was huge. Right. So he ended up moving there. And I knew that he was doing really well with his career. But then in December of 2022, he visited California. So I told him, hey, me and my buddies, so let's go for brunch. And I just wanted to catch up with him. And that's when he told me, oh, I actually quit my job to go full-time on Airbnbs. Oh. And that was the very first time that, it clicked on me Airbnb can be a business. Because I knew Airbnb as a guest. I would stay at Airbnbs, but I didn't really know the business side of it. But since I already have a little bit of experience in real estate, I was like, maybe I'll take a look at this. So he really inspired me to start researching about it. Right. So when I started researching about it, literally the next day, I looked into people who are doing it. I have a couple friends who are doing it. So I reached out to them, asked as many questions as I can. And I knew right away that I wanted to do it. Right. After I researched and I looked for a mentor. So Within that first week, I found a mentor on Facebook. I joined these Facebook groups, and I found this one guy. He was like, "Oh, I went from 0 to 23 properties in 1 year, and I went from serving at a restaurant to doing this full time." And so I messaged the guy and I told him, "Hey, I'm curious about this Airbnb thing. Can you maybe mentor me? I'll pay you for your time." And that's where it all started for me. So I got my mentor, and he really helped me in the beginning. So 4 months after I talked to my friend, I had a couple Airbnbs.
Yeah, I think mentorship is a very powerful tool, right?
Huge,
right?
Huge
You get a mentor and you don't have to like reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did you have to become, or was he your mentor or your brother? You're a part of any real estate agent background or?
No, we had no real estate background.
No real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have no license whatsoever. You don't need a license to be flipping houses. You don't need a license to be acquiring properties and doing long-term rentals or short-term rentals. Yeah. Even so today, none of us have license,
Awesome.
So anyone can do it.
Oh, that's great. I have my real estate license, I mean, I do practice, but it's great to know that you don't have to have a license.
You just have to have connection. You just have to have people you can work with. I can work with you as a realtor, right? Because you're a realtor. So we can partner up if we wanted to.
Right.
But you just have to find the right people and be creative.
Okay. Let's tell the audience how do we make money? So you need an Airbnb. Can you go through the steps on just really basic? I mean, not to tell you a recipe, but basic, like what do you do to attain these properties?
Right.
Because you have a lot of properties under your belt, right?
So I have about 100 Airbnbs that I own and manage.
Okay.
I own 11 properties and I have a management company. So I closing into almost 100 properties that I'm managing now as well. So all over all over the US. And so to answer that question, really, there's a few different ways that you can get into Airbnbs, right? So number one, obviously, is buying a property.
Sure.
So if you acquire a property, you can put it up as an Airbnb. And if, say, your mortgage is $3,000, right? But you're making $6,000 on Airbnb. So, $3,000 is your take home, pay for your utilities and everything. And at the end of the day, that's your profit.
Right.
That's the first one, but most people don't have, like in the beginning, I myself did not have 20% down to buy a house.
Sure.
So what I did in the beginning was called Airbnb arbitrage, which I really don't do anymore at this point. But what that means is what you rent a property, and then with the permission of the landlord, you can sublease that to Airbnb. So you're renting a property long-term, you're the long-term renter.
Right.
So you would rent for 1 year, 2 years. And then you would sublease it on Airbnb. So you would post it on Airbnb, and you would have people do short-term rental on that house. So say, for example, your rent is $2,000, but then you're making $4,000 or $5,000 on Airbnb.
Right.
So you're paying the landlord $2,000, and then you take home that $3,000.
I see. I didn't know that you could sublease.
You can sublease, yes. So,
but some people don't do that, right?
Some people don't do that. And a lot of landlords are going to say no to that. But there are landlords that are welcome to do that. So in the beginning, I did that. I had three Airbnb arbitrages. I had 3 landlords who said, yes, sure, do that. You know? And it's really a viable business if you know how to get around it, if you know how to find the right property.
Right.
Because not all properties are gonna profit.
Right.
So you have to be careful as well, because you're gonna be locked in for a whole year as a long-term renter. So you have to make sure that it's gonna make money on Airbnb. And there's another way, which is management, just like what I'm doing right now.
Right.
But obviously you have to be really, really good at Airbnbs and managing Airbnbs in order to do that model.
Right.
But I know a lot of people who do not own a property, but then they're managing Airbnbs. They just get really, really good at it.
Right.
And so when you're managing a company, typically you would charge anywhere between 15 to 25% of the revenue. So say, for example, you have a property, you want me to manage it for you, and your property's making $10,000 a month.
Right.
I could make 20% of that. So I would take home $2,000 for managing that company.
Right.
I'm managing that property.
Right. And that's like a win-win situation
for both ends.
Yeah, because the owner of the property gets their revenue, whatever.
Yes, they get 80%.
And then they don't have to really
do anything,
quote unquote, work because you're managing it. And then you make your money off that.
Yes.
That's a very, very good
business
plan.
All the property owners that I'm managing their property for, they're all passive, really. They're not doing anything. They're making money on the side.
Right.
And I'm taking care of everything.
Oh, that's good. So for those who own an Airbnb, how do people contact you for your services?
Yeah, so I'm everywhere. Socials. It's Haven BNB is my management company. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. My own Instagram is Jesse Nicasio. You'll find me on Instagram as well. So you can DM me anytime. I have a website, hosthavenbnb.com. So that's for my management company.
Right.
So if you have a property and you want to kind of take a look at, hey, this is going to do well on short-term rentals, we do that for free. So we look at the numbers, the comps, and see if it's going to be profitable.
Right.
We'll be very honest. If it's something that we cannot take on because it's not going to make as much money, then we'll tell you. But if it's going to be profitable, we'll tell you what the numbers are.
Right.
And we can manage that full time for you, and you don't have to do anything. And we can, because with short-term rentals, you can essentially make 2 to 3 times more than you would make as a long-term rental.
Right.
Yeah.
And then and what's the beauty too about you, Jesse, what I see online is that you're like in a lot of states, in a lot of areas.
Yes.
So tell me, so just not California.
Just not California.
Yeah. So what are some properties out there that you manage? Like what states?
Yeah. So in California alone, I have maybe 35 properties. I have a number of properties in the Midwest. So I have at least maybe 10 in Texas. I have a few in Arkansas. I have a few in the East Coast in Florida. I have a couple in New York, Ithaca, New York by Cornell University. I have a few in Nashville. I have 5 or 6 in Nashville that I'm managing. I have maybe 10 in North Carolina. So it's really across the board, everywhere.
And how did people find you from Ithaca, New York, and how do they find you?
What's crazy, Bobby, is it's all referral. I've never done any ads, meta ads or anything like that. It's all just referral, just from these property owners being really happy with my services, as their manager, as their property manager, and they would this property owner would tell another property owner from another state or a friend of theirs that, hey, I'm working with Host Haven with Jesse, and he's doing really well. My property is doing really well. If you want to, take a look at what they do.
That's cool.
And that's how we really spread out.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. I like how it seems so seamless to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And is it different fees from different states, or it's really depending on the property location and revenue?
So we charge anywhere. But you mean what the fees?
Yeah, say say for example, a property rents out for long term is $1,000 per month.
Yep.
Whereas another property in Beverly Hills will rent $10,000 a month. You know what I mean? Yeah. So how do you know how much to charge or what to
Yeah. So the typically we would charge anywhere between 15 to 25% depending on. Flat.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We don't charge anything else but that. So we don't have any initial fees or onboarding fees because a lot of management companies do that. You have to pay us, initially for our services, and we don't do that. So we're very relationship based, and we like to. We don't lock anyone into a contract either. So we like to prove ourselves month by month that, hey, we can make money for you.
Right.
And the only way we make money is you make money. Because we go by percentage.
Right.
So with that alone, we earn people's trust because they don't have to pay us anything. We only get paid if they get paid.
Right.
But the reason why we charge anywhere between that 15 to 25 is because some properties are harder than others. So if we take a look at the property and see, how hard is it to manage, or if it's easy to manage, then we can go with 15 or 20%. Right. There's only very few properties that we charge 25% if it's really a difficult property to work on.
Right.
Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe HOA or maybe there's additional things that we need to do for the property. But for the most part, it's between 15 to 20%.
Right. And then do you have a team?
We have a team.
You have a team. Okay.
Yeah.
And are they all local or?
Yeah. So I have. That's a great question. Yeah. So STR Super VA is one of my VA agency, and the reason why that started is because I've been using virtual assistants myself,
of course,
and they're universally known as virtual assistants because typically you would outsource them outside the U.S., but we don't want to call them virtual assistants. They're really my employees, so they work for me full time, and they're really high level people, rock star, and they're the backbone of my company. So I have 13 people right now.
So
in my team.
They're the first to contact when you call the number.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have my team. So I have my bookkeepers, I have my operations team, I have my operations manager, and that's just on the back end side. Now for the property side, the front end side, I have a boots on the ground team. So say for example in North Carolina, I have my cleaners there. I have my maintenance team there. I have my runners there. So any market that I go to, I have to build a boots on the ground team that's really capable of managing my Airbnbs before I even get into that market.
Right.
So
Yeah. So you would have to find, like, for example, if in North Carolina, you would have to find a cleaner that would clean the property, and you would hook up with those companies.
Yes.
And you would use the VAs to call those companies and like get contact information, pricing.
So now I have a back end, which is my VAs, and then I have my front end team, which is like the boots in the ground team that's physically there.
Nice.
To clean the Airbnbs, go there for maintenance, right? So
very nice. So what are some challenges in your business? Like, challenges, every business has a challenge. What would be like a top challenge for you?
Yeah, I think so with Airbnbs, it's not the same as hotels. Okay. What I mean by that is you have to be, if you get a 4-star review, it's really bad.
4-star.
4-star.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. Okay. So you could have 30 5-star reviews and then you get 1 4-star, and all of a sudden your property is like, Airbnb is going to put you on the 2nd page or 3rd page or 4th page. So you have to be really, really, your customer service has to be top notch. Your hospitality has to be top notch. Your cleaning has to be top notch. So there's a lot of moving parts. And so if you get a guest that's like not as happy with how your Airbnb looks like, or, how clean your Airbnb is, you might get a 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, or 1-star. And that'll really affect the business. So with Airbnbs, and that's why a lot of people also fail, I would say, is because they don't know how to properly manage. And it only takes a couple bad reviews for your Airbnb to either get removed, suspended, or just not show up in the search results anymore, because Airbnb is only gonna show you on the first page if you have perfect 5-star reviews, glowing reviews, and you're doing everything right.
Where is Airbnb located? Where is their corporate headquarters? Or are they all over?
That's a great question. They're all over. They have multiple call centers.
Really?
They have call centers in the Philippines and India.
Right.
Huge company.
Is it?
But I don't know where really they are.
Because there's also like Verbo, right?
There's also Verbo.
Right.
Verbo is very popular in the Midwest. I would say, like in our Texas properties, we get maybe 30-40% Verbo bookings. Right. But in California, 0. No one is using Verbo here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So just Airbnb.
But Airbnb is really monopolizing everything, because they're the giants.
Yeah.
Verbo, I don't think Verbo is going to be beating Airbnb anytime soon.
Right.
So, I mean, there's another way, which is direct booking. So if you don't want to be at the mercy of Airbnb and these bad reviews and all that, then you can just build a direct booking, build your own website for your property. Right. Which we do as well. So we have direct bookings. Yeah. For our properties. And so with direct bookings, at least they don't have to pay for Airbnb fees. So they would also save a little bit of money. It's a win-win situation for both parties.
Oh, that's good. So if I owned an Airbnb and I paid whatever fee to Airbnb, I hire you to manage my property for a little bit, and I say to myself, I don't want to do Airbnb no more. I'm just going to have Jesse manage it for me.
Right.
So I could just disassociate myself with Airbnb and go directly through you.
Yeah.
One of your services.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I would say we still have to post you on Airbnb, because Airbnb is really still the biggest platform. Yeah, it has the most reach. So think of it as Google, right?
Right.
You would still use Google over Yahoo or over any other, or Bing or anything like that. It's still the biggest platform out there. So Airbnb right now, at least for short-term rentals, Airbnb is still the biggest platform. So you would still essentially have a lot more views there. Right. So we still have to, but the thing is, if we are managing for you, you're essentially going to be hands off on that.
Awesome. Yeah. Is there any challenges in terms of Airbnb owners to look out for, like fraud or anything like that when working with like a property manager, or working with somebody that's trying to like manage their property? Is there anything like, can you tell them like tell the audience like what to look out for?
Right. So with property managers, I haven't heard of any fraud whatsoever. However, there are a lot of really bad property managers. So a lot of people can just become a property manager if they wanted to, because obviously there's no license or anything like that. They can just open a business. But if you're not in the top 5% or top 1% of hosts, then you don't know how to manage. Right. So with me and my brother, and with Host Haven, with my management company, we try to always be at the top 5% or top 1% of the market. And just with how we optimize things, how we do revenue management, how we go above and beyond and taking the 2 extra steps with our business, that's how we get ahead of everyone. Because there's,
Right.
I would say there's thousands of property managers out there,
Right.
but you just have to look for someone who's really capable. So you always do your due diligence. Always ask it, hey, do you actually own a property?
Right.
Right? Because sometimes you have to really own a property to be able to be a property manager.
Right.
Right? So you have to really look at their portfolio, look at their resume, and see if they really are capable property managers.
So you still work with those long-term renters though, that rent from the property owner.
So we're managing maybe 92, 93 Airbnbs right now.
Yeah.
And a good maybe 7 or 8 of those properties are arbitrage. So
Right.
I'm working with these not property owners, but they're arbitraging the property. So they are the long-term renter, but they don't want to do the work. They just want to do passive.
Right,
So I
right.
am managing for them as well.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Even though it is a little bit harder. So we want to make sure they're still going to be making money.
Right.
Because they're already renting. So it's a little bit higher than a mortgage.
Right.
And they're also still paying me 15 to 20%.
Right.
So we want to make sure that they're still profitable at the end of the day.
Right.
And if they are profitable, then yeah, I can take over that property.
Nice. And where do you see 2025 ending the year now, and that 2026 and moving forward? Where do you see the market going?
Yeah.
Is it slower? Is it more? Is it?
Yeah, it's definitely not the same as 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right.
It's always going to be a little bit lower, but it's basically, you have to be innovative and you have to be really creative. So you have to go by whatever the trend is.
Right.
So with Airbnb, for example, they always have updates.
Right.
I know in a couple of months from now, they're changing their fee structure. So with that, revenue management, which is, when you optimize pricing, you have to really know how to optimize your pricing.
Right.
So that alone is a big game changer if you know how to properly price out after the changes in fees.
Right.
So there's a lot of updates. Almost every couple of months, Airbnb has new updates, and you have to be really be a student of short-term rentals, because
Absolutely.
it's very hands-on. Short-term rentals
Right.
is very hands-on versus
Right.
long-term rental, where you just set it and forget it.
Right,
You have
right.
a long-term rental. With short-term
Right.
rentals, especially for property managers, if this is not something that they're doing full-time, then chances are they're probably not doing as good as someone who is doing this full-time. This is what I do day in and day out. So
Right.
almost every day I look at what the changes are in the market.
Nice.
So
Your business model sounds great. I mean, it sounds very exciting, managing all those properties throughout all the state. You must be very, very busy, but with a good team like your VAs. I'm sorry, not to call them VAs, but with your VAs and all your team, like you have a pretty good model, in terms of helping those Airbnb property owners.
Right.
So, what are the next steps? What do you see another market coming along?
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of nowadays we're being very picky with the properties that we are taking over.
Right.
So they have to have a certain threshold on what revenue it gets every year, and there's a lot of factors now before we accept a property at this point, because we realize whether the property is making $30,000 a year or $300,000 a year, it's the same amount of work. Right. You still have to be on there every day and manage it. So we're very picky now. So we're a little bit slower now, but we're still on scaling mode. So my brother and I we're really removed from operations now. I have my operations manager. I have my team, just like you mentioned.
Right.
So they're the ones who are doing the day-to-day stuff. And my job now is to grow the business. So finding the right properties to add to the portfolio. And also I'm growing the VA agency that I have, which is STR Super VA, which is doing amazing.
Right.
I started that last year. It's almost a year now. And
Nice.
We just finished this conference, one of the biggest conferences, STR Wealth Conference. It's led by my very own mentor and friend, Bill Faith. And we had such an amazing time there. We sponsored the show, and we had a booth there for 3 days, and collaborated with some of the biggest companies in the short-term rental space. So we're growing the VA agency as well as we speak.
So if somebody needs a VA, they can contact you?
Yeah. Anyone who
Awesome.
needs a VA, company, people, maybe you're starting out your business, maybe you need help,
Right.
maybe you need employees for really a fraction of the cost of,
Sure.
of hiring someone here in the US. And they're highly capable rockstar VAs. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see that every time I scroll on Instagram or Facebook, I just see all those VA ads. You know what I mean? So that's
Right.
good. So how does one contact you if you want to get to VA? They just same contact?
So STR Super VA is our name. We're on socials, Facebook, Instagram. You can message us anytime. my website is strsuperva.com and email is info@strsuperva.com. Very easy. So
Awesome.
STR Super VA.
You guys, STR Super VA.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be one of my last questions and my last topics. So
let's do it.
What motivates you every day to do the things that you do? What motivates Jesse? Is it eating right, working out, manifesting?
Yeah.
What is it? Prayer? What is it?
Yeah, this is probably the easiest question.
Yeah.
Definitely my parents.
Your parents?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
What about that?
I want to be able to give back because they did everything that they could to get me here in the U.S.
Right.
I actually moved to the U.S. at 20 years old, so it's I was a full-grown adult and had to start over here in the U.S. But thankfully they did that. They did everything that they could to get me here, to where I am today. So I just want to be able to give back. Right. They retired now, and I'm able to help them a little bit, but I feel like it's not enough. So that's my number one motivational factor in my drive to really grow this business and really be successful and create this generational wealth. Is for them to have a really comfortable rest of their life from here. Nice. So that's my number one driving factor. Number two, obviously, I'm about to start my own family as well. I just got married 2 years ago, and we're starting to plan a family as well.
Nice.
So really big family guy, and that's my motivational factor. Yeah.
Nice. And how about when you're down? Like, say you're depressed. Maybe say you lost a client, or what do you do to motivate yourself again? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, definitely number one is church. So I have a big church community.
Great.
I've always been in Couples for Christ.
Nice.
So Kids for Christ, Youth for Christ, Singles for Christ. So my entire life I've been part of that community. So I have a huge support system there with my church community, and obviously my family as well. But when I get down, honestly, I've gone through so many failures. People think that, I started 2.5 years ago with Airbnbs and I have 100 Airbnbs. That's where it started. But really, it started with all the failures. Right. So I had multiple businesses that failed before I got here. Sure. And that really, if not for those failures, I wouldn't have the ability to be able to be resilient like this, and when something happens, something really bad happens, I'm not as startled anymore because I've been through it before. Right. So with all the failures that happen, and I'm thankful for those failures, really. Right. You learn from it. Yeah. A lot of people see what you have now. Yeah. But they don't see the path of the journey. They don't see the grind. Yeah. Don't see the grind. They just judge you on, Jesse has this, you know what I mean? Right. Just like you have all these super cars, and you have all these things that you have now, but they don't see the grind that happened before you got to where you are. Right. So yeah, I'm sure you know the feeling. Absolutely. And failure is just part of the journey. Yeah. People fail all the time, and you just have to accept that. 100%. And learn from it. You know what I mean? And you have to learn from it. Yes. Right. Yeah. But as long as you're not giving up. Exactly. Then keep writing. You're not really failing. Right. If you don't give up. So if you give up and just say, this is the last straw for me. Yeah. Then that's where you actually fail. Right. So. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for, coming, onto the Cars Look podcast and explaining, what you do. Always here to promote your business. So again, guys out there, you guys have an Airbnb and, looking to manage, hit up Jesse. Looking for VAs, hit up Jesse. Looking at capital as well. Nicasia Capital, yes. Hit up Jesse. So again, we'll post all his information on our YouTube podcast, and thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Bobby. This was fun. All right. So guys, again, Carsalo, what we do here, again, we support and promote movement for business improvement. We're always looking for businesses to help you market, to help you grow. So please hit us up. You guys want to join the Carsalo podcast? Hit myself up, Carsalo at Carsalo IG, also Facebook, or you know where to find me. Thank you very much. Take care, guys.